Welcome everyone, campers, staff, alumni, families, and friends to Agawam's 4th Vespers, the 106th season. It's hard to believe we're already at half season. I'm still pinching myself about that. I'm thrilled to have such a full room today, standing room only, at Governor Hall, and I'm heartened at the positive energy I have felt from the visiting families this weekend. Thank you for your care, your passion for Agawam, and most of all, thank you again for sharing your voice with us. We're truly lucky to have them, and we have enjoyed seeing them grow in incredible ways every day this summer. Vespers at Agawam allows us to gather as a community each week with a unique focus toward the joys of friendship, camaraderie, and reference to community, as well as celebrating in song and hearing from members of our community who love this place dearly. Today we will hear from one of those community members whose love for this place is matched only by his deep, booming voice. But before I introduce this week's speaker, I would like to welcome back to Agawam our distinguished guest, Eric Chief Calhoun, father of Ranger Calhoun, who himself is now a 3rd generation at Agawam. Chief joins us today having served in a capacity as director for 17 years and having been part of this community for over 30 summers in total. In the summer camp world, that kind of longevity shows a dedication and love for community that is truly unique and special. Chief has left a deep imprint on Agawam, and his stewardship for this institution is something we should all aspire to. Chief, we're truly honored to have you back. Please join me in welcoming back Chief Calhoun. Got to know almost immediately upon arriving to Agawam. In fact, I think he may have been the first member of the staff to engage me in conversation. We quickly learned of our shared interest in history, which you'll hear a little bit about today, and of course the passion for camp and working with kids. Sam Yeoman Legaspi has been at Agawam for 8 years, I think. Is that correct in total? 4 as a camper and now 4 as staff. Yeoman leads our sailing program and has personally been a great resource for me in my early tenure as director. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you today, Sam Yeoman Legaspi.
Good morning, Agawam.
Good morning, Yeoman.
All right, so I am so happy to be able to speak to all of you today. It is genuinely a pleasure to be up here, to be able to speak to you, and to be able to share this message that I believe might bring value to some or all of your lives. But before we get into that message, I would like to invite up Mo McCarthy and the Camper Choir to sing "The Streets of London."
Yesterday's papers, yesterday's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dream that you dare to, why, oh, why can't I?
All right, time for me to give my talk. So, first of all, I would like to welcome our guests to Camp Agawam. Parents, siblings, extended family, alumni, or friends. All of you are welcome. So thank you for coming. I want to start off my talk by saying that this has been something that I've been working on since September, and that has gone through various drafts and evolutions. But I tried to keep to answering the same question that I first posed to myself. How can I be a better person? Now, one might ask what this means. So, for example, you could ask, better at what? Academics, sports, relationships, respect, music? Given these many possibilities, I settled on asking myself how I can be better in a way that helps improve the lives of not just myself, but the people around me. So finally, after writing bits and pieces here and there, I think that I've been able to piece together an answer. It boils down to being a force for positive change, for continued education, and for something that the Romans once called virtus, or virtue. Today, you would probably hear someone describe virtue as simply being a good person. But in the days of the Roman Republic, it was specific. To be virtuous was to be someone who had the good of society at the front of their mind, something known as public-mindedness. While there are many different levels of virtue in the Republic, the highest form of it was public service. For them, this meant sacrificing years of their life to public offices that were almost always unpaid and difficult or dangerous. To be virtuous was to dedicate oneself to their community, to the people around them, and to people that they loved. Now, the concept of Roman virtue may seem a thing of the past, but I know that this philosophy is clearly present here at Camp Agawam, and sometimes not in immediate ways. I think of two things: our counselors and volunteers, and of the woodcraft law, be kind, do at least one act of bargaining service each day. For the counselors, I am referring to us who spend our summers working at Camp Agawam, who know and accept, maybe somewhat so, that the pay is minimal. We do this because we know that the experience pays for itself. It is my opinion that being able to work with, inspire, and impact a boys' summer, all of you, is a reward that far outstrips any pay that we could hope to receive. And we do it hoping that all of the boys will be better people at the end of the summer. I truly believe that in life we should act for a purpose greater than ourselves, and do it for the betterment of the people around us. I think that through mentoring the people around us and performing these acts of service, we become a better person ourselves. And I truly believe that Camp Agawam has done this for me and changed my life. I think of a Greek proverb that represents this idea well. The society grows great when old men plant trees in whose shade they will never sit. A lot of us counselors, we don't stay here for many years, and so we don't get to see the people that the boys become. But we hope that in the single summer, or the second summer, or the third summer, however many summers that we work here, we hope that we have an impact, a lasting impact, positive impact. So at this point, you might be thinking, well, that's all so great. There's so much to do, so much going on in this world. I have things to do. Why should I live for others? How can I live for others? Well, living with virtue and purpose, it isn't easy. It's especially hard in a world that often rewards the opposite. Selfishness, lying, or cheating, and surface-level success. The truth is, it is much easier to live passively than it is to live intentionally. But just because something is difficult doesn't mean it's impossible. In fact, that is what makes it meaningful. It all starts with you. So if you find it hard to start on the big picture, this community-changing stuff, then make it manageable. All right? Start small and be consistent. Let the little things become your training grounds. Start off by being a positive force. Wish someone a good morning, a good afternoon, and a good night. Tell someone that they've done a good job. Give them a high five. Teach someone something new. Now actions, they're simple enough. But if you don't truly believe in in what you're doing, then it will never last. The mind is a powerful tool, and you can shape it to believe whatever you want. And the best way to do this is repetition and consistency. I'm sure that a lot of you who play sports have heard that before. I want you to aim to be consistent. Perceive your life in the lens of this greater goal. Aim to be the person who goes, "What were you saying?" when someone is interrupted. Aim to be the person who genuinely tries to understand people's point of view. Aim to be the person who smiles when you make eye contact. Aim to be the person who actually cares to listen to an answer when you ask people a question. Aim to be the person who invites others to the group. Aim to be the person who celebrates others' successes. Aim to be the kind of person that you would like to meet yourself. What do I aim to do? Personally, I aim to inspire wonder, foster skepticism, and create an atmosphere that encourages open-minded questioning. So why should we do all of these things? Because why is an important question that we should always ask. If not to answer the question of what it means to be a better person, then do it for the people that you care about. Family, friends, loved ones. And if not for them, then do it for yourself. And if not for yourself, then do it because it is the right thing to do. All of these small acts will make your life richer. It will make you happier, I promise. It will give your days meaning. So imagine if more people did that. These unbargaining acts of service, of kindness, and of respect. If even half the people in your community made choices every day to help each other. If enough people in a community made their daily practice, that community would become kinder, stronger, closer, and wiser. I know it may seem difficult. I know it may seem like a lot. So to carry yourself through those moments where you feel you stand alone in your quest to be a better person, in your quest to bring about a better world, I want you to remember the words of Bobby Kennedy, the 64th Attorney General of the United States and younger brother of John F. Kennedy. Some men see things as they are and ask why. I dream things that never were and ask, why not? I invite you to think of those words. Why not be the person who chooses kindness over indifference? Why not be the person who chooses to care over practice nonchalance? Why not believe that small, sincere actions can truly build a better world? If enough of us do all of these little things, if we believe in them, then day by day, act by act, the world that we pass on will be a little more just, a little more kind, and more worthy of the people that we love. So be curious, be courageous, and most of all, be kind. This is what I believe it means to be a better person. Thank you. So for today's Vespers, I know we do have a very special guest. So our final reading will be Chief Calvin.
Yes.
Hello everyone, it's really nice to be back. I'm going to be reading a poem by Douglas Malik that I can remember as a camper, Dave Mason, reading this poem every summer. And then later, he would come back and visit every year and read the poem. And after Dave Mason passed at 100 years old, he read it when he was 100, we always try to have a member of the Mason family come read it. So I'm very honored to be reading this, sort of representing Dave Mason and I suppose the Mason family. And I brought my own version, but I really appreciate the version with the bigger font, so thank you. The name of this poem is Be the Best of Whatever You Are. If you can't be the pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley. But be the best of the scrub by the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a bush, be a bit of grass and some highway, happier me. If you can't be a muskie, then just be a bass, but be the loveliest bass in the lake. We can't all be captains. We can't all be captains. Some have to be crew. There's something for all of us here. There's work to be done, and we've all got to do our part in a way that's sincere. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are.